Worshipful Master Jeremy Talambas, Right Worshipful Agapito Jun Swan, other dignitaries in the East, very worshipful sirs, brethren, sisters, sons, daughters, and friends of Masons, mayong hapon. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker in this August solemnity. Although in a literal sense, he's not a guest because he is one of us. Not to mention that his reputation already precedes him. His life has added colors to the rainbow since way back to his college years when he had already displayed his thirst for knowledge and not far beyond his admiration of the fairer sex, which reminds me in one of his occasions I attended, a high school friend who gave a testimony never failed to mention his being a campus figure. It is inevitable that with his passion for finer things in life, it would lead him to the gates of Solomon's temple. Precisely why on this occasion, our newly installed worshipful master requested him to be our honored speaker. Our guest speaker was born on February 16, 1966 in Cebu City. He is the second among the 4 children of Felicitas Paras and the late Constantino Omandam. Being so, as the second child, he is inclined to be resourceful and creative, which is presumed manifestation of his intelligence. This he displayed during his school years at Xavier University when he took up his accounting degree and immediately after graduation landed a job in one of the prestigious banking institution in this city. For many reasons, including environmental familiarity, and most of all, for the love of beauty and character, he tied his knot with a beautiful colleague, even as they were busy counting money at the Metropolitan Bank, and became a loving and caring parents to 2 wonderful boys, John Dale and John Jerome. For 13 years, he labored passionately as a bank employee until he decided to try his business sense in many and varied fields of endeavors. Presently, he is the sales manager of FDJ Rosmar Corporation, a business engaged in distribution of Shell petroleum products. His Masonic journey started in 1993 when he was elected to receive the degrees in Masonry in this lodge. Initiated February 10, passed on February 26, and raised to the sublime degree of Master Mason on March 16, 1993. In 2002, at the request of his beloved wife, he applied as a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, Cadena de Amor Chapter 16, and they became full brothers and sister tandem. As he progresses in the craft, in 2006, he became the worshipful master of this prestigious lodge. And mind you, he was my worshipful master when I saw the light in Masonry. And in the following year of 2007, he was appointed District Grand Lecturer of Masonic District R10A. He was conferred the 32nd degree Master of the Royal Secrets of Mindanao Body's ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of the Republic of the Philippines in the year 2000, and conferred also in 2012 the 32nd degree Knight Commander of the Court of Honor. and became the Venerable Master in 2013. He crossed the hot sands of the desert of the Shriners International in 2010 and became the CDO chapter president of the Aguila Shrine Club in 2013. Brethren, sisters, friends of Masonry, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our honored speaker, a past master of this premier and Hall of Famer Lodge, a past district grand lecturer, a past venerable master, a past president of the Shrine Chapter, and truly an outstanding performing brother in all his Masonic stewardship, worthy of emulation. Very worshipful, Lindon P. Mandam.
Thank you very much, very worshipful Francis Says, for a very kind and quite naughty introduction. Worshipful Master Jeremy D. Navas, Right Worshipful Tito Swan Jr., Senior Grand Warden, dignitaries in the East, very worshipful sirs, brethren, sisters, sons and daughters of Masons, friends of Masons, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Perhaps some of you have been wondering why, of all people, is Mios being tasked to be the guest speaker of this very auspicious occasion, when in fact, we have a lot of dignitaries, good and eloquent speakers in our midst. For the information of the least informed brethren and everybody, our newly installed worshipful master and I have been in the same trade for about 12 years already. I was responsible in hiring him in our previous company, and when our relationship with that said company turned sour, we decided to form our own, and until now, we are still on the same business, which is the distribution and sale of Shell petroleum products. Actually, I do not consider myself as the boss. In fact, in our present setup, we are on equal footing, earning the same and enjoying almost the same benefits. The only thing is, being the most senior and being ahead in the industry, I have the privilege of making some of the decisions and in the process, giving some instructions and when necessary, giving some errands to our worshipful master in relation to our work. And at some inopportune times, in distress, and it cannot be avoided, even on personal matters. This could be the reason, which is not quite surprising, that when he was elected to the regular chair in this famous lodge of ours, his first order of business was for me to be the guest of honor with the corresponding task of being the speaker in this installation. As a good soldier, how could I say no? After all, this is his moment, his crowning glory. And finally, he could say, nakabalos na giguli mo. Sige, patungo sa ako. Kaya nasaguhan na sa ako. On a serious note, our newly installed worshipful master is a doer and achiever, and has proven to be very, very reliable. He can perform tasks with less supervision and minimal resources needed, and yet deliver satisfactory, if not excellent results. That's why I have no doubt that Macajalar Lodge will attain greater heights and will reach another milestone with his leadership under his enlightened administration. Just recently, our lodge suffered a very tragic incident which put to test the very core of our being a Mason. But before that, let me relate to you my personal experience with our late brother, Rick Rotoras, during our Christmas party last December 1st, just a few hours before our indefatigable brother was violently taken away from us. During that party, Brother Rick actively volunteered to roam around the room and ask individual pledges to support the installation of our incoming worshipful master. He did it without even being asked to do so. Such action portrayed the very essence of brotherly love, relief, and truth, which is to say that our resources are not quite adequate as other masters before that time. Having been in the same position a few years ago, our late brother Rick knew that it is not easy, and gathering the financial support from our brethren ahead of time will be a big relief to the next administration. He came forward to show his concern, knowing fully well the truth that doing so will be a tremendous help to the next term of leadership. When he got back to our table, he was beaming with joy and pride of what he had accomplished. It is still very fresh in my memory how happy he looked to be able to gather the support from everybody. In fact, he has a very long list. As Brother Rick is no longer with us, please allow me to personally thank all of you, my brethren, who made a commitment that night. Your commitment will truly help our worshipful master accomplish the goals he has set this year. As so dearly departed Brother Rick, we shall continue to pray for the eternal repose of his soul and continue to do whatever we can to bring the perpetrators to justice and see that his family shall be cared for as we in our obligation have committed to do so. The blatant murder of very worshipful and noble Brother Rick made our brotherly love grew stronger. It was as if the inner core of our being was tested. For how can one not be affected by such brutal and senseless crime? The life of someone who was a dynamic and vibrant leader, a very talented man with a hopeful vision and unbreakable spirit, was taken away so untimely. I saw how each and every one of us pulled together as one. Needless to say, the theme chosen by our incoming worshipful master, that is, promoting Masonic ties and meaningful, lasting relationship to brotherly love, relief, and truth, was already displayed. The emotions showed by the brethren, the attendance since the very first day of the week, to the Lodge of Sorrow, to the funeral rites, to the 40th day, and the support extended to the whole family left behind was truly overwhelming. We had shown the whole world how we, as Masons, truly care for one another. Our actions had spoken louder than words. My brothers, I do believe that there really exists such thing as brotherly love, and that thing they call mystic ties among Masons. I can tell you by my own personal experience, when I succumbed to a stroke almost 2 years ago, which almost cost me my dear life, I, as well as my whole family, was deeply touched by the love, care, and thoughtfulness all of you had shown when I was in the hospital. Your visits, your support, financial and otherwise, and your prayers have helped me greatly in that time of need. And I know that there are others too who experience the same. The greatest challenge we face is how to continue promoting it. How can one make our relationships be more meaningful? How can we make our relationships last forever? We can start by being true to ourselves. Why did I become a Mason? Is it because it carries a certain prestige? Or is it because I want to belong? When someone belongs to a certain group, a family, for example, or an organization, then he has that love in his heart for the members of that group. Truthfully, do we want members of our family to be left uncared for? Of course not. We will always do everything for our loved ones, no matter what the cost might be. When the love is pure, caring never ends, and relationships endure. It is along this line that my hope exists, that all of us will always continue to cultivate meaningful relationships that would last forever. Let us look around, and if we see a brother Mason needing help, let us not wait to be asked. Let us roll our sleeves and lend a hand. The relief we share will make our bonds grow stronger. And such action not only shows our brotherly love, but will also create a meaningful and lasting relationship. In closing, let me answer the question: am I my brother's keeper? As a Mason, my answer is a resounding yes. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Thank you and good night.